Joining me now is Colby Covington, UFC welterweight fighter, and Chad Robichaux, former UFC fighter and Marine. Chad, let's start with you. Why would the Olympic Committee allow this fight to happen?
There is no reason they should allow this to happen. The fighter is XY chromosome. He's a man. He has the punching power of a man. And to put him in there with women is just not only unfair, but absolutely dangerous. I could not imagine spending your entire life. I started training at 5 years old, spending your entire life to make it to the pinnacle of my sport, to represent my sport. And you make it to the Olympics and you have to fight a man. I couldn't imagine what these girls are facing. And to have it stolen away, as you said, and face the dangers of that. This isn't inclusivity. This is a man, XY chromosome man with the punching power of a man beating up a woman. And Laura, I've never hit a woman. I've never had a desire to fight a woman, but I certainly would fight a man that thinks he's a woman and wants to beat up one other women. And I think a lot of men would. I'm sure Kobe would as well. I'll fight that guy.
Well, she didn't want to shake the hand of Khalif. Khalif identifies as a woman, says always a woman. Passport says woman on it. But the International Boxing Association, Colby, again, previously barred Khalif from competition. Now, here's what their CEO had to say about Khalif competing in the Olympics. Watch this.
We weren't allowing this boxer to compete in our events. I find it remarkable how the IOC apply a different condition to this event. I feel disappointed for the Italian boxer because she's worked extremely hard.
Colby, how do you see this playing out? I mean, do we need to start new leagues to protect women here? I mean, this is embarrassing. And where's Biden and Harris on all of this? They should be speaking out, the big champions of women and girls that they claim to be.
Yeah, it's strange that the Biden-Harris campaign hasn't came out and condemned this yet. It just shows that they stand for that, you know. Trump came out right away and said that he would put a ban to this, that no men would be able to compete in women's sports. So this is disgusting, Laura. That's unethical and it's outright dangerous. The Olympic Committee and USA Boxing pushed for this agenda. They should bear the weight of the responsibility for their disgusting behavior, turning a prestigious world stage like the Olympics into a circus sideshow for woke points. When is this ever going to be enough? Do we have to see a woman get killed? Because I don't want to see it.
Well, Chad, I made that statement in the angle because, I was a former athlete in college and high school. I took sports very seriously. Something really, really tragic is going to happen. There's already been injuries, as we said, with that volleyball player. I know other people have cataloged other injuries competing against biologically male athletes. I'm very worried about this, but Democrats who are wedded to this DEI agenda, they don't seem worried at all. It's equity, it's inclusion.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, this is not inclusion. I know Kobe has some great women on his team where he trains, and I've coached and trained with some amazing female athletes, some of the best female athletes in the world. And even at that level, at the pinnacle of as a professional UFC fighter, these girls, they just do not have the same punching power as a man, as an XY chromosome man. And that's not a hit on them. That's just biologically that way. And their skulls are different. The bone density is different. And so you're asking not just to take away their medals and everything they work for. You're asking for the disaster, and one of these women will get killed. Today we've seen the Italian boxer say she had never been hit that hard before because she was hit by a man. Full force, not sparring in competition.
I'm no expert here, Colby, but that video, the speed of that punch, that's man speed. That's fast. I don't. I'm not an expert. You're looking at the video. That's hard.
It's powerful, and these committees, they're supposed to protect the fighters. I'm not allowed to fight with elevated levels of testosterone as a man in the UFC, and neither are the women Dana White employs in the UFC. We're under strict drug testing because elevated levels of testosterone provide an unfair advantage and puts clean athletes in danger. This is a combat sport. We're not playing a kid's game for points. We're putting to take that person's conscience and potentially, affect them for the rest of their life.
I want to play this quick soundbite from the IOC spokesperson. I want Chad to respond. Let's watch.
Many women can have testosterone which is in what would be called male levels, and still be women and still compete as women. I hope we're all agreed that we're not calling for people to go back to the bad old days of sex testing. I think which was a terrible thing to do, and I'm sure we all agree that that is not the way forward.
Chad, the bad old days of sex testing. I don't know what that he's referring to, but
yeah.
I guess he's saying that's anti-science.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, there's XX and there's XY chromosome. XX is a female, XY is a male, and a male has an unfair advantage over a female, especially at the same weight class in the same sport with the same level of training. They're going to get someone killed.
Colby, Chad, it's great to hear from both of you tonight.